France will consider lending South Korea the world's oldest existing metal-printed book for exhibitions here, according to Culture Minister Roselyne Bachelot-Narquin. But here's the thing, the book was made in ancient Korea. So how did we get to this point where we're having to ask to borrow it back?
First, let's explain what this ancient artifact is exactly.
The two-volume Jikji, or Anthology of Great Buddhist Priests' Zen Teachings, was written by Venerable Baegun and printed by his two disciples at Heungdeok Temple in Cheongju, in what's now South Korea, during the Goryeo Kingdom in 1377. This was 78 years before the Gutenberg Bible, the earliest substantial book printed using metal type in Europe. UNESCO confirmed Jikji as the world's oldest metal-printed book in 2001 and included it in the UNESCO Memory of the World Registry that year. There is also a woodblock print version made in 1378, which is still intact, but only part of the metal-printed original survived, and it ended up at the National Library of France.
So, how did that happen, rather than being housed here in Seoul, for instance, where actually behind me the National Palace Museum of Korea is currently exhibiting ancient metal print blocks which were unearthed during excavations nearby just earlier this year?
The known remaining pages of Jikji were acquired by Colin de Plancy, the first French minister to Korea between the late 1880s to the early 1890s, when he served in the country. It was later auctioned in Paris in 1911 and eventually donated to its current location in 1952. Now, there's obviously a much wider issue concerning artifacts being returned to their original homes, and there has been a years-long campaign led by American historian Richard Pennington to bring Jikji back to Korea. France's position is that Korea has no right to demand the recovery of Jikji because it wasn't stolen. But repeated requests from Korea to at least borrow the remaining pages to exhibit have also been rejected.
Yet there is now at least some hope of a breakthrough.
South Korea's Culture Minister Hwang Hee has been in Paris for discussions with his French counterpart, although the latter did still express concern that Jikji might be seized on its return. Hwang has offered Seoul's guarantee that it would not happen, and the next step may be consultations with the National Library of France. Let us know in the comments what you think should happen next.